views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or positions of City World Media, LLC, or its affiliates. All shows are produced with full participant consent. City World Media does not claim ownership of any third-party music featured and uses all tracks only with proper permissions or licenses granted by their respective rights holders. City World Media operates in accordance with fair use and digital broadcast guidelines on all platforms. From my city to your world, we are City World. Thank you for watching.
So the arms of flesh will fail you. Some will come with words smooth as oil, and them only intention is to derail you. So whenever things seems to be falling apart or a crumble, remember, Lord give us a whole faith and humble. For I know Jah never fail, the blessings of Jah never fail, in my guide and protect. When family forsake you, make that motivate you. When a fake friend a play I hate you, make that motivate you. A size up, live and you learn. A size up, life is a journey. A size up, love to practice where they preach. A size up, but all I know Jah never fail, blessings of Jah never fail, in my guide and protect. Don't take the rising of the sun for granted. I'm like the tree by the river that planted. As the good book says, don't have your children shall bake bread. That is my shield and my buckler, my boss, give me a walk back. As I face each day, wicked heart can't get the best of me. Jah never fail, the blessings of Jah never fail, in my guide and protect. Jah never fail yet. Jah is a blessing. Overcome the rough times you've been through. Well, that alone will convince you. Most I love is me. He protect upon the back of feet. That's why I read on your words every day like a happy meal. Through the rugged roadside, rocky valley, stony hill, I know Jah never fail, the blessings of Jah never fail, in my guide and protect. Jah
What's good? What's good? What's goody, man? Thank y'all so much for being here. My name's Ghost Boogie. Tonight, tonight's a special night, and again, we're celebrating hip hop's 53rd birthday with episodes each and every single day this week. This has been a great week so far, and tonight is extremely special because we're getting ready to share a music that I love very much and am looking forward and have been looking forward to this interview since we had it scheduled. Tonight we're welcoming in a reggae artist and changing up the pace. So tonight I'm welcoming in an artist whose history stretches across several generations of Jamaican music. LawGiver the Kingson, born O'Neill Phoenix in Kingston and raised in Roadside, St. Mary, came into music through more than records. His father's vinyl collection was part of his education. So were community clashes, musicians inside his own family, and his uncle's Tidal Wave Sound System, where he learned both the microphone and the role of a selector. He eventually returned to Kingston and entered the mixing lab environment where his path crossed with Bounty Killer. His early recording history includes connections with Scared Him, Fat Eyes, Down Sound, and Taxi Records, followed by years of developing his own identity and eventually building an Imperishable Uprising as an independent home for his music. Along the way, his work has connected with Sly and Robbie, Cleveland, Clevie Brown, Dean Frazier, Half Pint, Yaksta, and other important names across reggae and dancehall. His history continues moving forward. In 2026, he released The Ancestors and appeared alongside Burning Spear on Received the Call. Supported by Burning Spear live in Brooklyn, and followed those moments with his latest release, Born of Love. There is history to document tonight, along with a current chapter involving new music, independent ownership, and another album taking shape. So, without further ado, it's my privilege and my honor to be able to welcome in the one and only LawGiver the Kingson. Salute, family. Welcome in.
Salute, 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 salute. Yes, yes, it's been a joy to be here tonight, you know what I mean? Grateful to be on the show, you know what I mean? Big up, I have to say big up the man called Soul Rock for making the connection first thing.
Yes.
Saying, yeah man. It's great. So how you been doing?
Oh man, I've been great, man. Thank you so much for being here and welcome in everyone. Shout out to Ultramag 7, Crucius Music, and everybody that's tuned in live right now, and lurking Drifter Radio. Yeah, we are gonna kill my cancer this weekend, but
Oh yeah, have to.
yeah, we're gonna beat it twice. We beat it once, we're gonna beat it twice. It ain't
Of
nothing but
course.
something, right? So first, before we get into the questions, I always like to ask the artists about what we just seen and heard. And I know there's a lot of backstory just to that specific song and location. And
Yeah.
please let everybody know about the song and also about the shooting location and everything that's significant about that music video.
Yeah. So this song, that song titled Born of Love. Nah, I'm sorry, Jah Never Feel I. It's a song that I wrote in just little bit when the pandemic was just coming in. You know what I mean? So it's just a song to give people hope that the Most High God never fails, regardless of what situation you're going through. Just like you going through your thing, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And this weekend, we know that the Most High Jah never fail you. So you're going to go and beat that cancer
Yes, sir.
in the name of the Most High. So, just that song was written to give people hope you know, to know that no matter the situation, you're gonna win, because the Most High never give you more than what you can bear. You get me?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, so I wrote that song, released it on my Imperishable Uprising label. The musical part of it was done by Cleveland Brownie of the duo, Steely and Clevie, and Dean Fraser, Owen Reynolds on bass, and some prominent musician, from out of Jamaica working on that project. Plus, the location that we shot that video is an iconic location. It's a spiritual place. That place is called Taki Falls. And when I mention the name Taki, Taki is a great king from Ghana who came to Jamaica to see his cousin Nani, Nani of the Maroons. God, Taki is from the Akan tribe in Ghana. So that location is where my family heritage is at right now in Jamaica, right? And the water right there is a healing water as well, So it's a sacred area. Taki also started the rebellion in Jamaica. That's where the rebellion started to free the slave all over the Caribbean. It started from that man, So it's a real, significant place, and it will put that energy within the music, to collaborate and, come with that powerful visual that you see there right there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
gorgeous.
yeah, and actually, to add to what happened there, with the video and stuff like that, the area roadside where I grew up in St. Mary, we have an indigenous dance called Dinky Mini, which my mom is a part of that group. Is from that dance is from Africa, the Dinky Mini. With someone want to know how the Dinky Mini dance, you can Google it or go on the YouTube and type in Dinky Mini, Islington Dinky Mini group, and you will see how we dance that spiritual dance. So my mama was always a cultural dancer, you know, and she's one of the founding members as well of the group. So I'm pretty rounded when it comes down to culture, you know, and roots in Jamaica with the music and the culture as well. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and it's a beautiful song too.
yeah,
Uh, you know, you have such a history that we've got a lot to cover tonight and a
hmm
lot to get into. And what I would love to know, like we always do about this time, is that uh, we always ask traditionally, what's your first memory of hip hop? But this goes deeper than hip hop, and so what I would like to do is ask kind of a two-part question. What is your first significant memory that you have associated with music? Like I said in the introduction, I know that your father's music collection and
yeah,
him, you know, had a big impact on you. Just like my parents listening to
yeah,
music, like we listen to more music than we watch television, right? And so I can relate to that, and tell us about that memory, and then also work in after you get done with that, like what is your first memory that you have associated with hip hop, and like what was like the one that resonated with you most?
yeah. So, with the beginning of my musical journey, started with my dad. My dad, wherever he can get the 45s, the vinyls, he will go and find that vinyl to buy it. And Sundays, he will go to my uncle's or a lady called Miss Mac. So them days you would store your records in the bear box. They have
Yeah.
those bear boxes that made from cardboard boxes.
Yep.
So once he touched that box, At a tender age, you can't leave me. You can't go through the house and
Right.
leave me. You have to take me. So my memories start from there, to the music. You normally would play like some Otis Redding, some ska, Dan Drummond. Dan Drummond is a man who blow the trombone, within the scatter lights. And, as I said, the Otis Reddings, the uh, Danny Hathaway, you know,
Mm.
singers like those. So, the music roots started from there, even though it was more like the foreign music, the blues, the jazz, the blues. Is a person from that era. And then you have like the mento music, which is a indigenous music where the ska stem from
Hmm.
in Jamaica. He had a lot of those records as well. So every Sunday he would just take his record box and go to my uncle's place to play his music, you know. And from there I learned how to, take the needle, put the needle on the record at 3, 4 years old, take it off. He showed me how to do that. So it molds me into a beast of knowing music, from the root, and our good song should sound and stuff like that. Moving from there, my uncle as well, you know, my uncle. A matter of fact, I have two uncles in the music. I have one in a group called Jug Johnny and the Italize, who is from the ska era as well. You know what I mean? So I learned from him as well, putting out records in those times. And plus my uncle who have the sound system, Tidal Wave Sound. That's where I learned to, do my MC thing around the microphone, freestyle all day and musical clashes with my peers in the community. So the whole thing started there, giving me a real highlight in my community. And because of, doing these stuff, it gives me the opportunity to go back to Kingston one after, I think it was a summertime. There was a guy who had what we call a sawmill in Jamaica. I don't know what they call it here in the United States, where they use to cut the wood, to make board.
Yeah. So,
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So they call it the sawmill in Jamaica. So that guy have a sound system, and he was cutting dub plates to go to a clash, right? So I was on the farm where that sawmill in the woods, with them, and I was the chef on site. That time I was about 16, no younger, about 16 years old. But I was the chef for the site. So when he said that, I want to go to Kingston to cut some dub plates with these guys. There was a guy on the farm who is a singer, and he knows about the movements in the city with the sound system and the studios where to go. So I said to the man, hey, I have a tune, I want you to listen my song. So I just said, all right. He said, yeah, let me hear it. And I take the microphone, and them time you have to talk hard lyrics against another sound system. So I was like, them get nervous and cold sweat I wash them a tremble like a leaf because we better than them. And the whole site get busy. So I got the opportunity that Friday to go to Kingston the Saturday to cut the dub plates, you know. So, you know, being exposed at that time to a studio, it was like when I came back to my community that Saturday night, the whole community was like waiting for us at the bus stop. I said, hey, how was it? So I was like this big star, this young big star in my community at that time. Yeah,
That had to feel good.
yeah, man, it was a good vibe.
Yeah. It was like, because, one of the things that I found really interesting was is that, the story about how when you were young, you guys would practice and like you formed microphones out of clay to, you know,
Yeah,
and you know, basically put on a show and a class. But you know, you guys just, you know, you out of like, we're gonna make microphones out of clay and
yeah,
then
yeah.
represent. Tell me about that. I'm curious, man.
Well,
As a young kid,
so back then, you know, we can't afford to buy microphones and turntables and stuff like that. So what we
yeah,
did, we make our own sound boxes with out of clay, which no speaker is in it, but we make it looks like a speaker and the microphone from clay. There's a thing that we call John Crow beads. You know, they're red, and we just tuck them in the microphone to make it look, you know,
yeah,
beautiful and stuff like that. So we would like clash with each other, you know, singing other songs like from Brigadier Jerry to Ninja Man to whoever is at Papa San, whoever is at that time, you know, we always sing their songs plus our songs, you know, to create a vibe, you know. So that's that energy, you know, to show you how serious we were about the music at that time, you know, to make your own music and
yeah,
own build your own vibes in your community. It was a really good thing. Even we have our own dances, like me and my cousin and a couple guys from the community would come together and we keep dances just by just singing with no rhythm, no physical rhythm playing, not we just, you know, get our own clay microphone and we start to sing and we collect our little change, you know what I mean? And someone would give us 20, 10, you know, whatever silver. We have a whole silver pan with full with silver money when we
mm.
finish. You know, we DJ until we sweat. So
Hey, man, that's real right there,
yeah,
though.
man, it was a really, really good vibes, you know. But as you asked a question, which I supposed to mention too, you know, about the hip hop, you know,
Hmm.
how I got introduced to hip hop. It was like in the early 90s, mid 90s, somewhere there. You
Okay,
know, when cable TV was getting more popular in Jamaica, you know, I used to like watch the BT and, you know, watch Biggie Smalls, we watch KRS-One, you know, Jay-Z, we have Rakim The Roots, you know, Erica Badu, you know, artists like those, you know, I get introduced to and like the whole flow because what happened is that, as I said, Jamaican introduced hip hop to America, right? But
hmm,
in terms, I have this to say this that hip hop, even to this day right now, influencing Jamaican music more, even more right now.
mm.
Trust me, you know, because I sit back and see where a lot of, you know, the hip hop sound and the styles, you know, becomes one of Jamaica's prominent movements right now. You know, no doubt about that. It's reality, you know. So, you know, coming up in those times, you know, in the 90s and watching these guys doing their thing, you know, it motivates us and realize that, you know, we can package ourselves, you know, get some image together, you know, put some apparels together, get your own music company, you know. We start
Yeah.
follow those steps and realize that, you know, it's more bigger than just standing around a sound system and spit at the rhymes, you know. It's more like a business, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
take up.
it's basically, you know, we always say that, you know, it started out here in the States, and when it started out, you know, just this past Tuesday was hip hop's birthday, and
Wow.
it was his 53rd birthday. But when it started out, and even up until, you know, the 90s, but during the 80s, it was very common for the older generations to say that it was a fad and it wasn't
Mhm.
going to last. And,
Mhm.
you know, that kind of like it was going to go the way a disco went. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It came and went. And it was going to be what they call flash in the pan. And
Mhm.
uh, our generation made sure that it didn't, and it had such a powerful thing to where
Hmm.
it's impacting, just like what you said, it's impacting, basically the culture there, whereas it's impacting all of the culture throughout the entire world, and it's
Yeah,
became its own thing where every culture's incorporated some part,
yeah,
shape, form of hip hop. So yeah,
hmm,
that's amazing to hear, though, that how
yeah.
you're saying that it has that significant of an impact
And
even there.
and to add to that as well, what I learned is that hip hop is an actual culture.
Hmm.
Hip hop is a culture, not
Yes.
just the music.
Nope.
Rap is the music, but hip hop is a culture and it's a movement. Because the graffiti that goes with it, the dress styles, like you have that bowl hat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing, and no one can deny this. Hip
Yeah.
hop influenced the world with that vibe. You know what I mean? So we shout out to the founders, to the ones who are representing, in hip hop to this day. Yeah, man. It's the
Yeah.
good
It
stuff.
it's amazing, and I love it. But there's no doubt about, especially come, at any point in time, you can look back, through hip hop's roots and history, that how the Jamaican culture and reggae music had and still has a very big impact and influence
Hmm.
on hip hop culture, and it's been a part of hip hop. I mean, especially when it started happening in the 90s, where there was a lot of crossovers. You had
Hmm.
Supercat, Mad Lion, and even before that, I mean, KRS-One and
Hmm. Doggy
BDP,
Fresh.
Dougie Fresh, like in all of the,
Yeah.
to all of that, where it was integrated and incorporated into basically hip hop music, and the dance hall clash over it, and the mashups where, you had uh, basically reggae artists and dancehall artists
Hmm.
going and taking the instrumentals to popular, hip hop
Hmm.
songs and flipping those. And as a DJ, I was always digging and going to the record store looking for those mashups and
Yeah.
clashes, and being like one of the first ones at the, to have that and put it on, because I know that someone was going to request it, or I was going to be
Yeah.
able to break something, because that was something that was big, and you
Hmm.
always had to have a reggae set, a
Yeah, for real.
dancehall set. Yeah.
For
So,
real.
because it's good. It's good energy. It's good uh, music in regards to high vibrational, happy music. And uh,
Yeah.
it always is, whenever you go somewhere, regardless of the crowd, if it's a mixed crowd or not, you put on some reggae music, people are going to react to it in a positive way.
For real. And to mention to that as well, we can't deny that the blues, the jazz, the blues
Oh man.
music also influence reggae, because what I learned is that the producers back then, like the Studio One, Coxon, Sir Coxon, would come to America,
Yes.
get these songs, and take them back to Jamaica, and he create stuff around these songs. You know what I mean? So American music really influenced reggae a
Yeah.
lot, and we can't deny that. Jazz influenced the whole thing as well. We can't deny that. So it's a whole melting pot of, each one teach one, each one build one, up to this point, and we
Yeah.
can't deny that. It's a whole family connection when it comes to the music, from Jamaica and here in America. You
I'm
know.
gonna take you back to basically the first question. What was one of your father's favorite songs to play? Or what was one of your favorite songs that your father used to play a lot?
This Otis, is Otis ready to sing this song? In these arms of mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's one of his favorite.
Otis Redding, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing
Oh, it's
artist.
really,
Died
yeah,
too soon.
yeah, for real, for real. And he always play this Donny Hathaway as well. Wow.
Yeah, Donny Hathaway,
Yeah, yeah,
he always gets me in my feelings. That's someone I play a lot.
yeah,
That definitely is someone I play a lot because
yeah,
I like soulful music and I
mm,
even like ballads and like
yeah,
music with emotion. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So that right
Hmm.
there in itself, absolutely is dope. And shout
Yeah.
out to Soul Racks in the house.
Yes.
Salute.
Salute, Soul Rock.
Thank you for hooking this up, and it's thank you again. Make sure you follow Soul Rack because he has an album out now called Welcome to America, and it's
Good
a
one.
single. And he just also released another single in conjunction. He's featured on a single with someone that we interviewed on Monday, and that's Al J from Black
Yeah.
Medine. So support, support, support. He's
Yeah.
on. He's number 2 on the top 30 college rap charts. So run it up, run it up, run it up. So he gets number 1, and he's over. He's over the top of people like DJ Premier right now and The Alchemist. He's
Hmm.
above that. So salute.
Salute, Soul Rock. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Big up. Always in the movements, supporting. Yeah, man.
Lawgiver, your family gave you 2 different musical classrooms. You had a ska connection through Jug Johnny, and then Tidal Wave Sound Systems through your uncle.
Hmm.
What did you absorb from those 2 traditions, and what and where did you hear those lessons in yourself today?
So, with the sound system from my uncle,
Yeah,
that gives the way how to freestyle within the music, be rounded because when you're a sound system DJ or performer, whatever rhythms come at you, you just have to work with it. It's unorthodox, and it taught me how to, go out there and perform for an audience,
yeah,
you know, and know, being a selector as well, you know what song to pen, how to present the song, because as a DJ, you know that a DJ will always be a good producer or a good artist because you know how to formulate a song, you know what word to put at the beginning and what to put in the middle. So being around the sound system, you know, I learned how to do that. Now my uncle and the other uncle now, which is Jug Johnny and the Italites, actually it's an uncle and a cousin in that group, right? So what I learned now from them, how to really make the song, you know what I mean, and how to pitch the harmonies. Even though I was young, but it lives with me up to this day. You know how to really create harmonies from your lead vocals,
uh huh,
and stuff like that. Little techniques that they I watch them perform in the community and realize how to do stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's dope. I mean, with being in such a musical family, or a family with such a musical historic background, and involved in the culture as much as they
hmm
were, could only shape. I mean, could you see yourself doing anything but music?
I can't see myself doing anything but music. I actually I love planting stuff. I love
Ah,
planting. As a farmer, I love that. But I can't see myself doing anything because from early days of school, I said to my teacher, asked me, from high school, what are your
yeah,
plans? What are you planning on? I say, I love music. I want to pursue. I want to go back to Kingston, to do music. He said, okay, go ahead, you know. So I didn't see myself doing anything but music. I was born for this.
Yeah,
You know?
man.
Yeah,
That's dope. I mean, so you like getting your hands in the earth and working with
yeah,
the earth.
yeah. I love that. I love connect with Mama Earth. Mama Earth is my therapy. Otherwise, from music. Before even like I woke up, when I woke up in the mornings, like I like to go in the garden. You know, talk to the plants. Right now, I have the music playing for my plants right now.
That's
So
dope. What
you
kind of
know,
music do you play for your plants?
hip hop is just a random playing. I play hip hop, blues, the now music, pop,
Hmm.
dancehall, reggae. You know, I just play music, whatever pop up on the playlist.
That's dope because they've scientifically proved, they've done studies that plants
Yeah,
grow better, and also the different types of music can influence how the actual plants play or
yeah,
grow and
for real.
everything like that. I mean, and think about how deep that is in regards to the science of horticulture, or whatever you
Hmm.
want to call it. I mean, it just proves that you know, everything's connected
Yeah, for
through
real.
one spirit, through one energy, through one force. And when you
Yeah,
talk about gardening and getting your hands and planting,
yeah,
one of the things that, especially with the way American culture is, uh, coming from, we went from a society that was built on agriculture, then to industry, and we
hmm,
started going more inside, but and not being outside, and especially with the youth these days, they want to just stay inside and be on the computer and on the
right.
phone, right? And you know, through like my doctors and through all of this journey that I've been on with health, they stress how important it is to go outside,
Yeah.
get some sun on you, right?
Hmm.
And then also, you know, in regards to grounding and like stabilizing
Yeah.
your system, like get barefoot and
Yeah.
put your feet
Touch a
on the
plant
earth
or something.
and touch
Yeah.
a plant, like, but definitely like,
Hmm.
stand barefoot in some grass and
Grass. Yeah.
let everything absorb in, and they have scientifically proved that that is important.
Yeah. Yeah. But we got to big up one of my biggest fan base, Brazil. It's
Yes,
not to
Brazil's
cut.
in the house. Yes.
Salve, salve. Boa noite. Familia. Yeah. To the
Salute to
best.
Brazil. Thank y'all so much for being here. And y'all, just so
Yeah.
if it's too late and you guys got to go to sleep, this will be up and running. You can press the replay tomorrow. It'll be up, stays up. You want to press rewind, it's there. So this isn't going anywhere, y'all. So definitely
Yeah.
just hit follow on the channel, like the video, help us out, and we'll spread this out, and
Yeah.
we'll also collaborate with Lawgiver on your YouTube channel, so it'll be on your channel as
Yeah.
well if you're
Excellent.
interested in that.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
But much love to everybody that's around. We've even got Russia tuning in right now that I've seen in the chat, so salute to
Yeah. Give
Russia.
thanks. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah.
um you know Tidal Wave put you close to artists such as Capleton, Mad Cobra, while you were still learning to select and work a microphone. What did you learn watching, established artists operate from the other side of the sound system before you became a professional recording artist yourself?
Yeah. Watching Mad Cobra in the early days, because Islington, a lot of people don't know. Mad Cobra is from Islington, right? He's from the
Okay.
same community. Went to school at Islington. So watching, as we call him, Everton those days, not never Mad Cobra. We call him Tan or Everton, right?
Gotcha.
Watching him doing his craft, them times, it was really a joy, to see him doing his thing. And I've learned a lot from watching him performing. Capleton attend the same school as I did as well. Watching him perform at our graduation, ball that night, it was a beauty. My uncle's sound system was playing, and he just came by the school to perform that night. Watching him perform, it was awesome because I was like the one who picking up the records, handing to the selector. I was
Yeah.
like more the one who knows the songs to play next. So, watching
You were
them.
the selector.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
just
yeah.
the instrument. He was the guy that was operating.
Yeah, yeah, operating, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So,
That's dope.
so watching them doing their thing, and other artists as well. Even I should mention too as well, Nicodemus. If one's been
Man.
following, Nicodemus,
Yes, sir.
Super Cat Nicodemus. Nicodemus is a cousin of mine.
Wow.
Wellington is my first cousins from Islington, same way. So
Wow.
the music bloodline, it runs straight through me. You know what I mean? So watching all these artists coming through Islington performing on my uncle's sound system, who had one of the leading sound system, it gives me a lot of leverage up to this day. I think it's what give me longevity within the music as an artist, not being a well established artist as they would say a bus artist, but in terms of being in the business so long and know how to navigate, and you know having my whole career going,
Yeah.
because I know how to you know make music, and know how to navigate the whole platforms, and be dominant at this point. I'm
That's
getting
dope.
stronger each day.
You know, when because with Mad Cobra, I have my first memory of Mad Cobra in high school when the song Flex came out, man. Like
Wow.
that song right there, when he dropped that was huge.
Wow.
And also I gotta give him mad props because like uh I think I was in high school when that dropped. I'm almost positive. But shout out to him because there was many parties and many of school dances and everything when that came on that I
Yeah.
enjoyed those dancing sessions with the ladies because you know I mean Flex is man, come on man, it's Mad
What?
Cobra. Yeah, man, like yeah, and then you said Super Cat with I mean and Nicodemus, like my
Yeah,
gosh, like all
Nicodemus.
of them, man, like
Yeah.
such humongous clashing with the hip hop culture, American culture, and
Yeah.
pop culture. That was it. Like, yeah,
To tell you a story to as well, you
yes,
know,
please.
to tell you this story with me, how the love for me with music, and I love this interview because it gave me the chance to dip into some areas which I have never touched.
Okay.
So, um, watching Nicodemus perform, there was Stereo One sound, or Stereo Mars or Stereo One, right? Was
Mhm.
playing in my community. My mommy went to the market, right? So I have to push the hand. We have a thing called the hand cart that we pushed, me and my brother, right? So
Mhm.
we went to meet our mom at the square, because when she sell the products at the market, we have to meet her in the Saturday evening to take
Mhm.
her back home. So what happened is that Stereo Mars was playing in my community, and that was a big opportunity now to see Ninja Man, to see Nicodemus, to see Wickerman, Captain Barkey, Lieutenant Stitchy. These are legends in reggae music, if
Yes.
one don't know. So seeing this, knowing that these artists coming in my community, I say I have to see these artists. So what I did now, my mom, when we went to meet my mom, those times we got to get, there wasn't a lot of electricity in our community, so we have to get the oil, the kerosene oil, right? We have I brought a bottle to buy the kerosene that Saturday night, right? So what I did on purpose is left the kerosene bottle in the shop behind the door and pushed the cart halfway with my brother, right? And then I pretend as if I forget the oil bottle. I say, oh, like that behind the shop door. And he said, oh, go get it. I went back, took the oil, took up the bottle and hide it at a different spot, and then went to the dance. So,
Oh
so
man.
yes, I'm watching the artists. I couldn't go in because I was too young. So I was like looking at them through the bamboo, and
Wow.
watching the whole movements. So with being at that dance, the song that you posted with the big sound song, that dance inspired that song.
Got you. I love that song. When I heard that, I was like, I gotta select that one.
Yeah,
Like this is
even
yeah.
the video, it's my childhood days because when I watch these guys do their thing, right? My uncle, I had a uncle in Kingston. He came over because he's from Grandspen and Stereo Mars is from Grandspen. So he came with the sound system, to attend the dance. So now when I head home now to go inside the house, it was a problem with my mom. She wanna beat me because
Right. I
I'm
was
not
wondering, like, when you got home, like when you finally got home, what were the like? What was the repercussions like?
the whip was waiting, so I was climbing through the window.
You were climbing through the window and just
Yeah,
waiting
to go
for
in
you.
the bed, yeah. So I slept outside. So my uncle is the one that saved me. Big respect to Daddy O, which is my uncle. We call him Daddy O.
Got
He
you.
came in the Sunday morning to beg for me. You know what I mean? So because of those, incident and situation, it makes me who I am today. You know, loving the music from a tender age and will go to anywhere to just to consume the music or just to perform it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So
Yeah, that's that. Look, how old were you when that happened?
uh, those times maybe about, I don't think I was 10 yet, maybe about 9, 8, 9. Yeah. And I wasn't like, tell you the truth, I wasn't like the street kid. I grew up as a house child,
Yeah.
but they know that I love music to the core, you know? So
Yeah.
that's the first time I ever sleep outside, you know?
Hey, look, that's that shows automatically, like when I asked you the question like before, you know, did you ever think that there was anything else that you were going to be? At 9 years old, you were you were scheming and sneaking just to be able to see performing like at 9. That takes, like, at 9 years old, like that's definitely before, normally when youth start getting and participating in that type of
Yeah, man.
behavior, as far as
Yeah,
that
yeah.
goes, especially if you were someone, like you said, that wasn't a street kid. You were very much in the house and respectful, and you know what I mean, like that. But
Mhm.
you were like, not today. I'm gonna see this. I'm gonna see this concert one way or the other. Were you the only one peeking in, or were there other kids in there, like, with you, like trying to peek? And
There were other kids there,
yeah,
but those are street kids. I know those kids are street kids. But I was
yeah.
like one of the whole household because my mama is a Christian, my dad is a Christian, he's a pastor, like, you know what I mean? So it was odds for me to be out there. It was really weird. But
I'm sure they were
I,
worried about you. That's why they had that switch waiting on you.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure,
Man, I'm just trying to think like what would happen if uh I mean my kids are 14 now, so
Mhm.
I'd have been real tight. Like, and then especially like back in those days, there were no cell phones, there was no communication, no
Yeah.
nothing. Like these kids nowadays, they want phones early, and
Mhm.
quite honestly, they
Yeah.
always have their phones on and powered up because those
Yeah.
are like little trackers. I can see exactly where they're at any point in time.
Yeah. Right.
Like I know where you are. Like
Yeah.
don't lie to me. So that's crazy though. That's a
Yeah.
great story though. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, man. Because that's yeah. That takes
But
me back to like I used to do. I tried to tell my kids about me growing up, and you know, my generation, I would say, is probably one of the last generations where, uh, and you're the same age as I am too, because I was born
mhm.
in '76. I'm 50 this year, and I think you're
Yeah.
75, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're 51. And we're gonna talk about your birthday coming up next, but
Yeah.
like our generation definitely was the last generation where uh they had to run commercials on TV here in America
Mhm.
saying, do you know it's like 10 o'clock or it's 9 o'clock at night? Do you know where your children are? To remind the parents that, like, hey,
Yeah.
you got kids out here, because we were allowed, like, I would wake up in the morning, like, I wasn't allowed in the house. It's like, if I was inside the house, even from my grandparents, they were like, what are you doing inside? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got to use the restroom. Like, use the
Yeah.
restroom outside. I need to get something to drink. There's the hose outside.
Mhm.
Get on your bike and go out and be gone. So, I mean, we would be on our bikes, gone 20 miles away, just
Mhm.
out there kicking it. As
Yeah.
long as
Yeah.
you were home before
Yes.
the lights came on, as
Mhm.
at dusk,
Mhm.
everything was cool. But
Yeah.
nowadays, kids don't want to leave the house. It's like, get outside, go, like, please go.
I
No,
mean, sorry.
no, please go ahead.
So for me growing up, the truth be truth, I wasn't this loose kid around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was one of those kids who well behaved because my parents are strict. But the only thing when it comes to music and sports, my sports was like cricket. You know what I mean? You're from the Caribbean. Cricket is one of the most dominant sport in those times. Never
gotcha.
football. It was more
Okay,
cricket. So cricket and athletics. So I would be like at every cricket games. They know that I love this sport. I play for my school, be the captain and whatever. So my parents will allow me for that. But you see the dancehall now. Because the dancehall is a total different thing. They're not there, they know what happened. So I sneak out to that dancehall. It's a no. But my dad, in time to come, after I start performing on my uncle's sound system, when my dad like go to the streets or stuff like that, a couple of people on the road would say, "Hey, your son got talent. I heard him last night, and he was really kicking it last night." Encourage him. So my dad, out of everyone in my family around, my dad always be the one to encourage me up to this day. He supported me, always, hey, go get it, go get it, go get it. My mom was like, nope. Even the day when I was getting the opportunity to go to the studio for the first time, it was a no from my mom.
gotcha.
But my dad said, hey, allow him to go do him thing. I was like 16 at that time, and he asked for me to go, and it
That's
worked.
amazing. Well, he was the one that put the music in you. I mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, I
for
mean,
sure.
that's your core memory growing up is,
Hmm.
your first memories are hearing your father play music, and that influenced your ear and influenced who you are. Because I
Yeah.
know the music just same way for me. Like, my
Hmm.
parents playing music that influenced my journey and basically my personality and identity. So I totally
Yeah,
can relate with that. Yeah.
for sure, for sure, for sure.
You know, were you gonna say something else?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I want to add too as well.
please.
Yeah,
Yes.
as I said, within my family, right? As I said,
Mm,
my mama is a founding member of the Islington Dinky Mini Group, and they have a lot of things that would look at like folk songs,
mm,
traditional, African songs, African influence songs, which they chant. So I have a lot of those melodies and ideas embedded in me. They have instruments that there's nowhere that what we come across. Even I Google it the other day. There's a specific instrument that we make, and I make that instrument often in Jamaica, in Islington, roadside actually. It's called the benta, right? No one man can play it. Have to have two-person play it.
mm,
So you have a thing called the godi. It's a fruit that you scrape the inside out,
mm-hmm.
what inside, and you get the fruit to dry. Put some rum in it for the sound because the ancestors, it's a thing that wakes the ancestors, the sound.
Okay.
And it's really spiritual. The Dinky Mini movements is a spiritual music. No matter what artist it is, our sound system, whatever string up in an area, once Dinky Mini is on, that's where the crowd is gonna come. Because the energy, the ancestral energy from that music, it's so powerful and pulling. It's gonna pull each people, each one to that specific direction. So, these melodies that I learned from a child growing up, and it's embedded within us. As I said, we are from a specific area in Ghana. You know what I mean? From the Akan. I'm the indigenous bloodline. So there's always some melodies, being whispered by the ancestors. That's the reason why let's say like the Capetans, the Nicodemus, they are from this soil, that part of the soil. So we have there's a special sound or melody that rings in our head at times. So all we have to do is open our mouth and express ourselves, and it comes out. So shout out to the elders and the ancestors that bequeathed those stuff unto us up to this point. And that's the reason
Yes.
why I don't even worry about music anymore. I say, hey, you don't bust as yet. We call it bust. Or when last year, or who is gonna bust? We don't worry about bust. We just make music and be happy about what we do. You know what I mean? And growing up in roadside St. Mary, it gives me a lot of leverage, how to harvest these energies and put it back in the music. You know what I mean?
Mm,
When I perform, it's just strictly spiritual energy you can get from that, from a sound and my whole performance. It's easy to go in trance once I'm performing through the ancestral
yeah,
energy, you know what I mean?
that's
Yeah,
dope. So you just, I
yeah,
mean, like it literally just is flowing through you and coming straight
yeah,
from the heart, right?
yeah.
With everything.
Eh, Yeah, I would like you to, whenever you get the chance,
Yes, sir.
just go and Dinky Mini dance. I say Islington Dinky Mini. Or just link me and I'll send you the information. I'll send you
Yes. Yeah,
stuff like that.
definitely send me the information because you have my phone number, you have my email,
Yeah,
you got all of it. Uh,
yeah, man.
I would love, and then hopefully this isn't the last interview because when you put out new music and everything like that, I'd love to be able to feature it and play it for the folks here live and have you, uh, you know,
For
discuss
sure.
it and talk to the folks. We have a listening party.
It will be a pleasure.
As the pleasure would be all mine, family. I
Yeah,
love doing that.
man. Yeah. I
Hey,
hope I hope your people are understanding my because I know that
oh, you're
sometimes that's a
good.
part.
Nah, man, like the chat's pop. We got a lot of people watching right now. You are good. It's no, there's no
Yeah.
problem, man. Like,
Sometimes I go in my indigenous sound,
nah, you're
my
good.
native sound.
So, there was something that you mentioned when we were talking off air, and I think it's very important. First off, I want to wish you a happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
You said July 23rd, 1975, you were born, but
Mhm.
that date is a very, 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 very special and significant date in culture and everything like that. And I am going to pass it over so you can explain to everyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
It, yes.
All right. So Rastafari, Haile Selassie is Imperial Majesty from Ethiopia, who is the head of Rastafari, right? And the movements of Rastafari was born July the 23rd. Is that right? It's 1892, right?
Hmm.
So his birthday is same as we share the same birthday, the 23rd of July, right? In Genesis 49, it spoke about Genesis 49, it spoke about Judah. So if you're a Leo, you're a Judah or a lawgiver. So Genesis 49 says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, neither a lawgiver beneath his feet till Shiloh. The praising of the people should be upon Judah, which is the lawgiver. So this is where lawgiver comes in. Because I'm a Leo, and you consider lawgiver as a Judah, the lion of Judah. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So we have the scepter naturally to how it's set. And we're in Leo time right now.
Yes, we
And
are.
today is a significant time, which is a new portal open right now. So having this conversation right here is a new beginning. So I
Yes.
know that you're gonna beat that cancer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
So
that, fam.
yeah. Yeah man, it's natural. Oh, cold bump on my skin.
Yeah, I do too. I got it too. Because yesterday, like when you said it's an important, significant time. Yesterday was a special day in regards to we had uh, all planets were aligned, and also at the very same time, which is extremely rare, we had an
Eclipse.
eclipse, a full
Yeah.
total eclipse at the same time. All the planets were aligned, and
Yeah.
cosmically, that's a very rare occasion, and it happens only so many hundreds of years.
Sheila.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah. So now to continue on the lawgiver thing, a
Yes.
name. So as we say, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, neither a lawgiver beneath his feet. That's where the lawgiver comes from,
Yeah.
right? And the king's son, being high, born in Kingston, Jamaica, and Haile Selassie is the king of kings. I'm the king's son from Kingston.
From Kingston. Yep. The king's son from
Yeah,
Kingston.
that's the reason why I released that my EP that got me on this one of the biggest festival in the Caribbean. It's called Reggae Sumfest. I released my EP titled The Kingson from Kingston, and it did so well that they booked me for that festival, Reggae Sumfest. So you know within the faith of Rastafari, it depends on what month you're born, and we have Judah, we have Naphtali, we have Reuben, Simeon, Levi. We name all these months. So I represent lawgiver or Judah. So that's how my name comes up. You know,
That's
yeah,
dope. That's very dope. And that basically has shaped your identity going
yeah,
forward. It's been very much ingrained in you, and you take that
yeah.
to heart. So I,
I,
I love it.
yeah, actually, since I used to be my name when I met Bounty Killer, which we're gonna talk about that. You know, uh, I had a name called Dice. They used to call me Dice Man.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I move on from Dice Man to Dice. When I recorded for Bounty Killer named me Stone Dice because my vocal is so strong. He said, you have a gravelly type of sound, so your name is Stone Dice, and he released the record under Stone Dice. You know what I mean? So been through, that whole segment, I move with a group called Newborn Thugs, which is True Honest United Ghetto Stars. So I was there with them producing because I was more like into production as an artist, but early out I've been producing songs with Bounty Killer, um, some local acts, Jigs the King, Elephant Man, yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Lex,
yeah,
so many from Capleton, Vibes Cartel, you know, yeah, for real, So there's been a whole lot of journey for me coming up, changing names. So being when I recorded Big Sound for Sly Robbie, which we're gonna talk about, you
yeah.
know, that is when I changed my name to
Mm,
LawGiver. It was LawGiver, and then I move on to LawGiver The Kingson because each time, I'm not like 20. So I'm saying this for another artist who is coming up or who is in the game. If you reach to a certain point and you realize you're stuck, you can add something to another moniker to your name. You can still keep the name, but still add something to your name. So it always, recreating, and keep fresh. So this is what I do. So this is
yes.
why I end up with the Kingson at the moment, and it makes sense, you know.
No, it makes total sense. Like, I think you should just. I think this is the perfect name and everything for you as far as there's so much
Yeah,
meaning
right.
to it, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
organic and it works. I mean, it
yeah,
just the fact that your history with Bounty Kill. I mean, you named some names right there that are I love. I've got records and records and records of those artists, and when you mentioned that Bounty Killer, right? It reaches back to the period when you were known as Dice,
yeah,
the Lawgiver, and including Bad Smell through Scared Him around 1997, right? Now, walk
yeah.
me through how your relationship with Bounty Killer started and, what you learned from working around him during those formative years in your life.
So first time, meeting Bounty Killer. Seeing him come to the studio at Mixing Lab Studio, 58 Dunbarton. Big up the man called Rai Francis, who gave us the opportunity to see how music make. Big up. So coming out, and that meeting Bounty Killer, it was a night. I have an engineer friend.
Mm,
I figure out how to, get myself a little bit, a little step ahead of everyone because the studio is full of artists,
yeah.
outside, inside. So what I did is friend the engineer, Bounty's engineer. You know what I mean? If you want to get a drinks up the street, I say, I'll go buy it for you. You
Mm,
get me? So
hmm.
I becomes a friend of him
Yeah.
because I'm the one who can go and get a drink, so we're willing to go get a drink. So
Yeah.
no, we becomes friends, and he said to me, hey, Bounty Killer is coming tonight to record, so I want you to be on the session. It's gonna be late because he's coming when everyone is gone home. So just relax at the studio, right? So when Bounty came to the studio, now I said, come in on the session. So when Bounty Killer said, hey, he said to Bounty, I want you to listen to my artist.
Mm,
Right? So when Bounty Killer recorded his song, I think Elephant Man was there. Elephant Man, Harry Toddler, Nitty Kochi. It was the whole Scare Them crew because he have his crew called
hmm.
Scare Them. So them time like the Scare Them crew was hot, really hot. But they weren't recording as often as Bounty Killer wanted them to record. They were more spending more time with the girls and the flare type of thing, which he want to record an album with them. So when he put them around the booth, they could not come up with a song. None of them. I think it was only one of them who recorded the
Mm,
night. I think one of them called Daily Bread recorded the song. So I got the opportunity because of that. No one have a song to record. So it's all right. You go around there, right? I was like, being around Bounty Killer in those times, it's
Yeah.
like God of music come. I was like, wow, because
Yeah.
growing up, Bounty Killer was like the God of music. Yeah,
Yes.
so when you come around someone who is really up there in the music, it's like a tense moment.
Yeah.
So when you say, hey, go around the booth, there was another artist called Anthony Redrose who responsible for Bounty Killer's first song that was could play on the air, because Bounty Killer was more hardcore, you
Yes.
know, gun
Yes.
gun lyrics DJs. So
I
Anthony
love
Redrose,
Bounty Killer. I got all of it, man. Because yeah, he was just raw. Yeah.
yeah. So Anthony Redrose was there at the studio with him as well, and he's the one that influenced Bounty with a lot of radio influenced songs and stuff like that. So when Bounty Killer say, "Hey, go around the booth and do your thing," so the engineer and I say, "Hey, don't feel me," they would just set up this and don't feel me. Then put on the headset, boogie. Those days, you have to practice at home.
Hmm.
It's not like now when you have the computer. Even
Yes.
though it was 24 track, though you could stop and pick up, but you have to practice. When the engineer walked back out, he set up the headphone for me and put the mic there, adjust the microphone to my height, because when Bounty was recording, it was high, tall. He's a tall person. So I was young. I was like about 20 at that time,
Gotcha.
right? And he said, "All right," they pressed red light and said, "Red light, recording. One hit, one take from start to my lyrics finish, but the rhythm never finish because it wanted another verse, you know, to
Hmm.
finish the song." And when I started with Bounty Killer, I said, don't, and I said, "Hey, that's the amount of lyrics I have." He said, "Don't worry." And he gave me 4 lines, and Anthony Redrose gave me 4 lines, like 8 lines immediate on spot. And they just say it out of their mouth. And immediately I just put the 8 lines. Bop, straight. And then from top with the song. And it was recorded. The next morning, when he recorded the song, his girl, Bounty Killer girl, came in. That it was Angel them time there. His girl that time
Hmm.
was Angel,
Yeah.
right? When she came in the studio the night and heard the song, she asked Bounty Killer if that is him, Bounty. Because
Wow.
yeah, because those time I was emulating Bounty. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
Bujo Bounty, I have a deep voice, so it's easy for me to swing to anyone. So she asked him and said no, and he pointed at me and said, That's him. I said, when you see the little the little person, that little man, I said, yeah. So the good thing now, when Bounty Killer recorded me,
Yeah.
right, the next day I came to the studio. A matter of fact, when I came to the studio, the next evening I came to the studio, it was chaos. I mean, Bounty Killer been driving from the whole day to every studio that he goes and in sea view everywhere, playing my song and said, this is his new artist. And so it was
Wow.
a big hype for me, hearing my song on the radio, not knowing nothing about the music business, how to shows and how to get a manager right and stuff like that. It was a big hype for me, but never know how to deal with it.
Wow. Wow.
so, so all that hype it just happened, and I have memories from that up to this day. You know what I mean?
That has to be
So,
an amazing, like that gives me the goose pimples or the goose chill, like the chills, because I could just imagine like
yeah,
being
man.
in that situation, and how you basically you were part of the mixing lab environment, and
Hmm.
during that time you were learning about studio culture, and like you said, all of the things that it took back in those days when it wasn't on a computer. Yes, you had
Yeah.
tape, and you only had tape cost money, and
Hmm.
and if you didn't do a one take like you did, and it's very rare for people to do a one take, right?
Yeah,
And,
very rare.
and you know, they normally have to punch in and clean it
Yeah,
up
yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah,
do
yeah.
this, and like
Hmm.
you nailed it right off the bat.
Have
And
to.
yeah, man. And so that goes back to the whole thing of like, you know, it's inside you, right?
Yeah,
And you just let it go. And
for real, for
you
real.
mentioned Buju Banton. I mean, uh,
Yeah,
one of my favorite Buju Banton songs is Champion, you
yeah.
know,
Walk
like
like a champion. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
and especially the one that the remix version with the
Hmm.
hip hop version, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Okay.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I but like both of them, right? But man, like I would play that like when I would make mixtapes, that would be on every single
Hmm.
mixtape that I made because I mean that was kind of a theme song for me as well. Like I got a bunch of theme songs, but you know, songs when I say that they're songs that impact me somewhere deep down where it's like even though I might not be thinking about it or might not believing about that myself at that period of time, it was like this is what I aspire to be, and
Hmm.
like these lyrics really
Yeah.
connect me to it and help
Hmm.
change my mind state, right? You
Yeah.
know,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, man. I mean, growing up, Bounty Killer, Buju Banton.
Mhm.
Coming up, Buju was one of the most influential, in my career in the early stages because
Wow.
Buju was before Bounty. You know what I mean? And coming through, listening, I would sing more Buju Banton songs than even more Bounty Killer because he had this clarity to his sound, and it was a new sound. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed every moment of Buju Banton. And funny enough, I've never Buju come to the studio a couple of times when Shaggy, Robert Livingston, which is Shaggy's producer and manager back then, he came to do a couple. I think it was a remix at the Mixing Lab studio,
Mm.
and I went to his studio one day to mix a song, and he was there at his studio. Otherwise, out my whole life in the music industry, I've never been around Buju or have a conversation with him. Otherwise, more than one night, I was at Stone Love. Stone Love is one of the biggest sound system out of Jamaica, and the event was called Weddy Weddy. So I have this song called Big Sound, uh, what I
Mm.
recorded for Sly Robbie, playing. That time it was hot, you know. And Buju Banton was coming in the dance. I stand up, I stand in the crowd, and Buju Banton was coming right in front, passing me, and he stopped and he stuck his finger on me and said, "Youth, defend your place.
Mm.
Hear me, youth. Defend your place. Say it, hold it, and walk."
Wow.
Up to this day, it got me, thinking. I said, "Hey, Bush have been listening to me and realize the talent and know who I am. He's a spiritual person, and he said that to me. Say, you have to defend your place, you know. And that
Wow.
was, I think that time he released the first album. I think it was the Too Bad, not the Too Bad that he just released. The Too Bad album.
Yeah.
It was the launch of that album that night. So when he said that to me, it was like, yes, I need no more recommendation. Bush talk to me.
Wow. You know, that had to be like you said, that's something you stick with to this day and probably you're going to carry it with you the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
yeah, man.
And
It never leave, man.
what better validation than
Yeah,
to get, you know, something
yeah,
so spiritual and so inspirational from someone that
yeah,
you
man.
looked up to, man. That's beautiful.
I know I'm gonna meet him one day, and we reason about it because I can feel the energy when I know that someone like Bujo. I know that one day we're gonna come across the path again, and I can talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And let
Yeah,
them know how what kind of change he had
yeah,
in your life. I mean, or not just change, but how he continued to fuel you and make
yeah.
you go further and further and put that battery, like, because all it takes is always someone to believe in you, right?
Hmm.
Just it can be one person, but especially if it's a person that you
Hmm.
believe in so much that it's that I remember I got to meet Grover Washington Jr. before he passed, and I was
Hmm.
doing sound at a festival, and we were at sound check, and I was waiting for my people to go on and for me to do my job. So I sat front row, like I just went up to the seats. I wasn't even I was just like front row while he was checking, right?
Yeah.
And he's playing, and he disappears, but he's still playing. He comes down off the now, mind you, this is in one of the football stadiums, right? He
Hmm.
comes down, and I don't see him. He's still playing, and then all of a sudden, he's like walks and sits down next to me,
Whoa.
and he's playing, and he says, "How's it sound?" And I'm like, "What? Like you're asking me how it sounds? Like it sounds amazing, right?" And then fast forward to later on that night when he went live, or when because he was like the headliner before he went on. They were doing the stage switch over, and
Hmm.
he was over in his little corner
Hmm.
that was all roped off by himself, and he was sitting there practicing and getting warmed up. He
Yeah.
looked up and locked eyes with me, and he was like, and like waved me through and sat down and was talking to me while he was warming up, and was like, "You gonna? I want you." He was like, "I want you. You can stand on the side of the stage and watch
Yeah.
me." And I was just like,
What?
"Yeah." So I mean, it was just cool to be able to have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
moment and that
That
memory
moment.
with
Yeah.
someone like that. Just the same, because Grover Washington Jr. I love jazz,
Yeah.
and he's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Grover, because
Yeah, man. Yeah,
he
man. I
was
can.
huge. But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
like that I know what that feels like. It's just someone to believe in you, or you get a chance
Yeah,
to
man.
connect with one of your people
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
look up to.
For real.
That's
Buju,
awesome.
Bounty. Yeah, man. Buju Bounty. Wow, that's a good thing, good vibration.
Yeah.
I get to produce a song with Bounty Killer. Actually, two songs. After he produced one for me, I produced two. It was a group effort though, you know. And I produced one song with Beanie Man as well. But it's good to come across this, superstar within the reggae
Yeah.
and dancehall era, and it gives you good leverage. I know
Yeah.
that you're being among the stars, and they recognize who you are, and respect your talent.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
awesome. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
When your early path ran through environments connected with Scaredom, Fat Eyes, Down Sound, Taxi Records, when you compare those different situations now, right?
Mhm.
What did each one teach you about, producers, artists, songwriting, surviving within the Jamaican recording
Mhm.
business?
So, mention first Fat Eyes. Fat Eyes is Bulby or Colin York. Colin Bulby York,
Uh-huh.
and Fata Marshalls. They are the engineers who are responsible for the mixing of Shabba Ranks album, Extra Naked, and those
Wow.
those 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 albums, right? And many of the songs, many of the 90s dancehall songs, even the um Beanie Man, Selassie, I send them,
Yeah.
and so many hits, so many hits.
I mean,
Bulby,
Shabba Ranks was
Trailer Load,
huge.
all these songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Mad
if you
Cracker.
could pull the microphone just a little bit away, your chin's touch. Perfect. There
Okay,
we go.
okay, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I didn't realize it.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, yeah. So this engineer, Bulby Ark is one of the one that I learned how to mix, how mixing comes in, styles and taking out drums and delays and you know and production as well.
Yeah.
A part of production. I
Yeah.
learned from him how to, you know, I can get a whole section of rhythms and know how to balance it to create a sound out of it.
Mhm.
I learned that from Bulby Ark, as well as Fata, because Fata is his two-person, So Fata Marshall, which is Fata Marshall, he's the one now. He's more like the roots reggae. So he would give you the more like the dub style mixing and the splashing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I learned those things from them. You know what I mean? Like Sly. What I learned from Sly is the making of the rhythms. You know what I mean? Like I've been there seeing from the first drum beat that Sly made with the fed up rhythm. If one know about the fed up rhythm and many other hits, I've seen it. I've seen so many hits made by Sly and Robbie from the studio, so I learned how to create. Watching them. My experience with Down Sound Records was I recorded two songs for them. I recorded two songs for them, but I don't even know if they had released them or anything.
Mm.
But that buyer was from them time, But being seeing Down Sound Records and what they do, they he's been in Jamaica for a while, and he do spend a lot, in the music,
Yeah.
and I've seen how production can happen in terms of creating shows and be a person because in the long run I have to salute Joe Bogdanovich as well because when I released my EP and I had a media launch, he took the time out to come and make a speech at my EP launch. You know what I mean, and gave a good presentation, and I salute him for that, and even to book me on his festival, it says a lot, and I just wishing them good luck going forward. But what we would love to see personally is more reggae act being introduced back to the stage, to the reggae Sumfest stage, like we used to, because I mean. In terms of that, we don't think that we are getting the roots reggae act are getting more the exposure that they need, because it doesn't come with the flares and the what they would call it the gimmick and the stuff like that. I mean the clothes. It's always a spiritual and a mission music. So yeah, would like that incorporate back into the festival as it's built from the foundation you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, so these are the experiences I gather from being around, and I could talk about working with Sly if you want me
Yeah.
go there.
Please.
Sly been a friend. Rest in peace, Sly and Robbie. Rest in peace to those two legends because those two legends allowing me to come on their session. It's priceless and it does a lot for me within the music.
Yeah.
And it gave me that leverage and stability. You know, it doesn't matter who the artist is right now in the world, what genre, whatever. You can never ever get me, boomy or what would you call it, so super excited and you know what I mean because
Yeah.
I learned how to, soak up the superstar vibes and know that we are human and we all have talents. And what
Yes.
you have, what Boogie born with, that don't necessarily mean I have it, but each man have their own unique sound and style. It's just the exposure.
Yeah.
Why, some individuals, are not at certain level.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So being around Sly, as a mentor, Sly used to like play my first rhythm that I produced. Sly played for me for free. Robbie played my bass line for me free. These are the type of things that these musician does for upcoming acts, and they did that for me. Plus, he gave me that rhythm that I did the big sound on, right?
Hmm.
He gave me that rhythm, and it start my whole career in music. That's the song that allowed me to get a visa to come to America. My first show in Florida. That's the song, the big sound song that Sly produced for me. Standing up in a dance and see my songs like playing like 6 times back and forth, and sound systems from Europe, want dub plates and stuff like that. They started my career, and I said salute to Sly, Dunbar, and Robbie Shakespeare. Rest in peace, musical pioneers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's a whole vibe with me, and those moments with Sly, watching Sly and Robbie, those are precious moments that we can't pay for.
No.
You know what
I
I mean?
mean, you're around like founding fathers for the most part, and
Yeah,
greats like for who crafted the sound. I mean,
exactly.
what better? So I mean, by extension,
Mhm.
again, the music comes through you and from you because
Yeah.
of, you talk about your ancestral roots, but also the fact that, from your father to the
Mhm.
experiences all the way working with all of these artists and producers that, you were able to observe
Mhm.
masters at work. So I mean, like you got a master class, and it was like, a PhD level
Yeah.
education in music production, and
Yeah.
also the way they shape their sound, and you can take though that those teachings and apply it to what's coming out of you and the
Yeah.
way you want to do your sound, and bring it forward. So that's amazing. Like
Yeah, man. It
that's an
makes sense.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. And that's the
respect.
reason why we have at this time I have this type of sound. You know,
Yeah.
making a song. The delivery type, the way how I want my rhythms to sound. I learned from that school. I know it doesn't matter what sound is happening right now. Once I learn something that once you take the music from the root, because as I said before in a interview, I said for upcoming artists, which some would look at me as an upcoming artist, but I have experience within the game. I can
Forever.
you know what I mean? So I can say once you take the root of the music, if you are a hip hop artist or jazz, whatever, once you take the root, you're gonna have all springs or all stems, the leaf, the branch, whatever, because it is the root that service all areas. And every time you play a note, you have to come back to the root. Bum 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 bum. You have to come back to the root
Yes.
every time. So I just always say this: I have the root, and I support all the branches. So it doesn't matter where they go with the music. I have all springs within I and I. Singers and players of instruments, my springs are in thee. The Most High said that within the Bible. So we always have to remember, always nurture the roots, because the roots is what keeps us and bear fruits.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yes.
man.
You want to be a tree that bears fruit. You know what I mean?
Yes, so you got to support the
And good
root.
fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good fruit. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes,
You
bro.
know, so you in 2013, you
Hmm.
were promoting your 21 song Kingston from Kingston
Yeah,
mixtape,
yeah,
and also discussing a 16-track project called Roadside Network.
yeah,
What happened during those years between those recordings and the release of King's Son from Kingston in 2021? Which changed you the most as an artist?
Alright, so the 2013 run, I was with a producer at that time,
Hmm.
right? From 2011, 2012, 2013. So when I released that song, I was with that EP. I was with a producer, but most of those songs on the Kingston from Kingston mixtape that I released, most of those songs are actually demos, and other people rhythms, and some songs that me and my engineer we just jump on a rhythm and freestyle. So that mixtape that we did, it did so well. It all over Europe, here in the United States, everywhere. I been getting dub plates from everywhere. But we had a fallout because I realized that the mission wasn't about my true talent.
Hmm.
Was about something else, which I can't figure it out. But it was about something else. It wasn't about 100%, lawgiver and the talent and what I have to offer. So in between there now, I was like, trying to figure out how to move forward. You know,
Hmm.
and so between 2013 come up, I wasn't releasing as much song as I wanted to, but I was in the background with some other people producing, you know, putting my expertise to productions and stuff like until 2018, 2019, I decided, hey, you know what? Let me form a label, right? And some of those songs from the Kingston from Kingston mixtape, I went in studio in 2019, 2020, and just spent a whole lot of time with Cleveland Brownie and Owen Reynolds, and Dean Fraser, and some a lot of musicians that I have on the project, and created that EP, you know. So I could say, all right, these works are my works. I put my hard-earned money in, and believe in my own self. So that is what happened, And the Kingston from Kingston EP, which gave me a high pitch, what I mean, within the
Hmm.
music industry, and up to this point, going well. The Roadside project, it was supposed to be the album, but that was also stalled as well because I wasn't with the same producer. I have to figure things out for myself. So it took me some years to figure it out, to get the
Yeah.
financial support, and so
But
this is, yeah.
in 2022, when you performed at Sumfest, and Roadside brought enough response for an encore, for somebody raised in Roadside, St. Mary. What did hearing a Sumfest audience call for that particular song again mean to you, though, fam? I mean, like,
I mean, in every community there is a roadside. Everywhere, if you go outside of your gate is a roadside. So the lyrical content within the music, it resonate with everyone within the audience because it's talking about the sufferation, it's talking about the hustling,
mhm,
it's talking about our daily lives, and metaphorically, in reality, not even metaphor, but reality. I grew up in roadside.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I mentioned in the song Stony Hill, which I actually grew up that's where I was living, Kingston 9, which is
yeah,
Stony Hill. So that I mentioned about Stony Hill and places that I grew up in Kingston as well. So, doing it on stage in Montego Bay, I incorporate areas in Montego Bay as well within the lyrical, delivery.
hmm,
So it resonate well, and I got a encore on that song coming back on stage again, and the whole stage here up, So it was really, really a good thing. And the good thing about it as well, yes, I'm lawgiver, and I have a couple songs play there and there. A couple people might know, but I wasn't like this highly known artist. But it's all about knowing how to perform, know how to deliver, knowing how to, get the crowd involved, communicate with it with your crowd. So this is what motivate them to give back the energy that I'm giving, you know. And then they receive me well, and I'm really looking forward to perform back in Jamaica again, like that, because since 2022 I haven't done anything in Jamaica, so far. But I could have, but this is what happened now within, and we have to touch these topics about here in the United States and elsewhere in the world. But we're gonna get to that. But this is what happened now is that presentation is very imperative. It's a important part within music, any genre, in any genre. Presentation is a must, right? When I did some fest, the presentation was perfect, was correct. I have my band on stage. I have a horn section. I have two keyboard backing vocals. So that presentation, it works. It resonates with the world. It wasn't like you pick up LawGiver and I run out on some tracks, or unprepared band.
Yeah.
So when my management team, my wife is a part of the management team as well. I mean, she
Respect to
look
her.
over the stuff like that. Yeah, it's a family thing. She's one of the sole person behind the movements. With LawGiver, big up Essence as well. So what we do, if someone want to book LawGiver and the presentation is not right, if we can't make a presentation, it doesn't make sense, because we can look moving forward, and then we take 10 steps backward.
Yeah.
Sometimes we know that we have to make a little fall, because when we're stepping, learning to walk, we fall a lot of times,
Yes.
in order to get strong. But we can't go way back, like it's the early days.
Right.
We have to You have to come, a promoter or a producer have to come to the level where we are, or you just leave it alone,
Yeah.
and we tread on our own and prove that we have the substance and the capability to perform wherever we want to perform and make a good presentation, if they
Yeah.
have the vision just for the music itself and for I. You know what I mean? Because saying that, I'm saying this with passion, because a lot of people the reason why reggae music is in the position where it's at right now, in my opinion, and this is opinionated, right, is because of presentation. A lot of the elders, some of them made a lot of mistakes, and it is continued. That trend is continuing up to this day, right now. You know, if they had stick to the task where they when they are going on tour, take an opener with them from Jamaica, and try to work with their band, that they grew up with. It would be better for a musician going out there in the world to do the music. So what we are doing right now with other musicians that I see is successful right now is have a format, have your band together, have your whole little package together, and present yourself, because you have to look at yourself as a business. You know what I mean? If we are selling parties, we have to make sure that we have the parties, packaged right, and the logo and everything have to be, appealing. And the taste within the food and everything, it have to be appealing, or else you will not get a new audience to come and new support to come and support your business. So we can't just continue, on the same path, because as we said, for instance, Kentucky, what they sell is what Kentucky and the burger and all these things is a consistency, right? And we have to have that consistency that Bob Marley and the Peter Tosh and the Burning Spear, that type of consistency within the music. Consistency means quality as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we have to solely defend that part of it, and I'm for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that I absolutely agree that presentation and practicing and preparation is
Mm-hmm.
key. I mean, people can tell if you get out there and you wing it, right? And if you don't, I mean, because if you're gonna perform in front of people that are there to see you, or if you're getting ready to perform in front of people that have never seen you, but you are hoping that you gain some recognition and some followers and appreciation for your craft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're doing them a disservice, and like you said, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? So you
Just like
have to
that.
come correct, and like you can't take all these steps back, especially with the amount of wisdom that
Mm-hmm.
you have, right? And you've worked with legends, icons,
Mm-hmm.
and you had that teaching in you. So I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of rehearsal and everything that went in with that, and just
Mm-hmm.
having it in step, and that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So let's get into some current projects, and Born of Love. It starts from the fact that every person enters life through a mother and through love, and
Yeah.
then asks how people grow into hatred and violence. What happened in your life, or what were you observing around you, which made this message you needed to release now?
The whole vibe that is happening around the world now, and it is getting more intense. It's
Amen.
seeing, children. You turn on you pick up. You don't have to turn your TV on. You pick up your device. You see what is happening. Children crying. Bombs being thrown left and right. You know, shootings. Violence here, violence here. Because to how I see it, these so-called world leaders, they profit from all these chaos and these violence. It's arms selling, world leaders, arms dealers, policymakers. These are the people that created all these, type of energies to benefit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the question have to be asked: how did we get there? Because you, for instance, we don't not even talk about the world leaders and the arms dealers. We're
Yes.
coming to us as beings,
Yes.
right? I have my son. He becomes a soldier, a cop, whatever, whatever era they join. And their job is to make another mother cry or another, kill someone else.
Mm.
Remember, the womb that we're from, it was made of love.
Yes.
And I'm sure that every child that come through the womb was wrapped in that warm blanket. They was fed with breast milk or whatever, but they was fed. You know what I mean? So in our whole in all of that, how did we become so violent? And our duty is to make another person feel pain or cry for another loved one. This is how Born of Love come. And the whole idea of this becoming a song, it was the meditation that I have. I wrote it on the wall of my Instagram, right? It was it was kind of long, and someone read it on the Instagram page and say, "Lawgiver, this sounds like," they drop in the comment section and said, "This sounds like it could be a song." So what? So I said, all right. So what I did, I just copy the whole thing and then write it in the book, and then I put some, rhymes and some stuff, and just to make it more palatable. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I did
Yeah.
a demo in my studio with the rhythms and everything, and then I sent it to my musicians, and they do their thing, and this is what we came up with. Born of Love, just like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And that's a song that really is needed today, because you mentioned something, as having children. And,
Mhm.
when you see the things that are going on
Mhm.
today, and uh,
Yeah.
what really pissed me off was when they were talking about reinstating the draft. Now, I have to say that, I respect all the folks that served in the armed forces. My grandfather was a
Yeah.
Korean War veteran, and my grandfather, all of my grandparents were people that were extremely important to me. But
Mhm.
when they talk about the draft, right, and you talk about these world leaders, and I teach my kids to, I'm really focused on making sure that they think for themselves, right?
Mhm.
And, I was like, I want you to think about one thing. These folks are talking about the draft, and like they're creating all these wars. And yes, you touched on the fact that, they're arms dealers there, because, it was something early on that when Truman was our president, he, uh, on his speech going out of office, he
Mhm.
talked about the industrial military complex taking over the American government, and
Mhm.
that being, that is pretty much our leading industry, and that's what we make our money on, is creating weapons
Mhm.
and selling them to not only ourselves. I mean, we go to war to be able to use these weapons, but also
Mhm.
selling them too. And it's like, you take a look at these folks that are giving these meetings, and they're sitting in their suits and of all these different countries, and they come together and they talk this big talk and all of that, but none of them are actually in the trenches fighting, nor none of them are sending their children to war. They're taking advantage of the middle class, or the people of, less stature,
Yeah.
because that don't have the means or the legal defenses and lawyers to get them out of those situations and environments, right?
True.
And it's sad. So that song, and that's the reason why I wanted to ask you about it,
Mhm.
was because it resonated with me, and I felt it. And like, that is something that is very frustrating to me right now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because you've got these people that are just, acting wild, and this is all of the world leaders, right? They're all acting wild, but yet none of them are willing to go out there and pick up the gun and go get it
Exactly.
on. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
get it
Yeah.
on.
Pressing
Like, if y'all
buttons. Yeah.
talk, you go do it. You go do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I mean, that's
Mm.
enough of that. But I mean, that's real. That it's an amazing piece
Yeah.
of work.
How, how did we travel so far through all
Yeah,
these years? Born of woman, born of love, yet you build the guns, while another mother weeps for a dying son. World
yes,
leaders, arms dealers, policy makers, war profiteers. Your mama didn't raise you for this. You was born with a conscience. Where did it go? The world is not short of bombs. The world is short of love. The world is short of humanity. Born of love. Go check it out.
yeah.
LawGiver The Kingson, Born of Love.
Y'all got to go check that out, and we'll definitely probably play that on the way out.
Yeah.
But let's. Uh, how are you doing on time?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right, just making sure you're
We
good.
got more. We got
Yeah,
more.
we got more, and I want to make sure. I'm sorry, this conversation's been amazing, so I'm having a good time, and I'm just making sure that you're good,
Yeah,
and I'm being
yeah, man.
respectful.
I'm
All
good.
right. Um, so when you say "Born of Love," when somebody listens to the past vocals and gets inside the dub, what elements of the rhythm and production do you want them to hear different?
All right. So the dub version of the music, it
Hmm.
you stripped down the music, the vocals, and he added. You can hear the delays, the bass line, the creativity of the bass line, the frequency that the engineer used to make the song, you know, what it is. I'm a person of dub, because the dub version is what we, when the sound system comes, that's where give us the vibes to, and DJ and the sound system. So i- that element, you have to have it. Every time I release a song, I have to release a dub version. It gives you time to soak in the instrumental part of it, and you hear where the vocals come in to complement the strings and the percussions. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I'm a big fan of it too. I love dub versions and everything. It's just
Yeah,
like,
man.
oh man.
Big up Lee Scratch Perry. Big
Yes.
up King Tubby.
I like one of these hats that I wear a lot. I wear nothing but bucket hats, but
Yeah.
this is a bucket hat that's made by a gentleman. He's got a couple of monikers, but that's Roz dude, but he's
Hmm.
Skinny Pablo, and he produced some of Lee Scratch Perry's last works, and
Oh,
he's the one that did it. So he's all over the world right now. I can't even tell you what country he's in,
yeah,
but
right. No, yeah.
he makes dub plates and he'll do custom. He's very much into it. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to
Big up
to
Skinny.
Skinny. Yeah. You know, you years ago you publicly identified working with Burning Spear as one of your goals. Now
Yeah,
you're
right?
featured with him on Receive the Call. And take me through the actual moment when the opportunity arrived and you realized something that you had spoken about years earlier was happening.
My brother, let me give you from the beginning, right? The
Yeah.
first time, yeah, I think it was, I always follow Burning Spear from long time. It's
I
been,
got to see him perform once live. Yeah.
oh.
Amazing.
So in 2023, I realized that when I post stuff, on my page, I realized it, they keep posting, reposting, and commenting. So when the first time that happened, I showed my wife. I said, "What's going on here?"
Yeah. Yeah.
As you can see in my bio, I mentioned about Burning Spear years ago,
Yeah.
2012, 13, and 11. It's early in my bio,
Yes.
and who say I wanted to come across this person. So the reposting keep happening, and then I was here last year, late last year,
Hmm.
right? And my phone rang, and I picked it up, and Burning Spear road manager, he called me because I know him around the studio from years ago. But
Uh huh.
he know the musicians well that play most of the bass line and the songs that I have, like the Barn
Okay.
of Love song and so forth. So Owen, he know Owen well. So I think he got my number from Owen, right? So and he called me and said, "Hey, Daddy Burning Spear and Marcy, I think it's Marcy. Marcy is Burning Spear manager. I say, hey, I wanna contact with you. So I call him up, right, and find out. A matter of fact, I asked my manager to do it, to find out, because I say, hey, Burning Spear, let me go through the right channel.
Right.
So they realize that they have a collaboration, that they're working on an album, and they want me to collaborate with Burning Spear. I said, what? I dropped the whole thing. I said, what?
Man.
So, dreams and visions, especially visions, because the vision have to come before the dream. Visions do come true.
Yeah.
When that happened, I said, what? You know? So, we connected, and they sent over the track. I didn't hesitate. I think it was one of the quickest song I wrote with a while. My studio was out of commission because I had some electrical problem in my studio, so I have to move it now, and the place was there, so I have to put the studio in my house,
Uh-huh.
and the whole thing, and you know, started doing my thing, and then immediate man in less than an hour or two, I put my lines together and send it back, and I wanted to know that I'm on the album and on Burning Spear album that he just released. Because I received the call, and the name of the song is Receive the Call. I was looking forward for this call from over 20 years.
Wow.
So I received the call and from the African postman. So I have to answer to the calls, you know what I mean? I do my thing. So yeah man, shout out to Daddy Burning Spear, the legendary.
Respect.
I never leave him, and he never leave me. So shout out to Daddy Burning Spear for give
Yeah,
me that
man.
opportunity, because that's a once in a lifetime. I know that a legend like Burning Spear. You know what I mean? I think what happened is that because Bob Marley introduced him to the music, and he in return now doing back something for the younger generation that says a lot about that man, and his whole vibration, and how he always do his charity things, and so it happened in the music as well.
Yeah.
So I salute him for giving me the opportunity, and his team, big up Marcy, big up Zazan, for
So
making
we
this.
got to give him one of these.
You
Yeah,
have
you
that all
got.
along. One more, give me one
Give
more.
him more.
Yeah, yeah. Big up Daddy
Three's
Burden.
a magic number.
Yeah, man. So people go get the album. Call on Me album. It's out now, and it's a unique one as well. It have on that album you have Alpha Blonde, you have and Julian Marley, Luciano, Kenyatta Hill. There's a whole line of stars, and it's Queen Africa, Empress Sativa, and some upcoming reggae act. You know what I mean? That was really, really good of Daddy Burning Spirit to introduce a next generation to the music, and also getting the opportunity to open for him at couple of the gigs. You know what I mean? A couple gigs was something that it is priceless. I can't even explain. Or honored I feel to know that the first time like meeting Burning Spear, like physical, when the show was in Florida in February, you know what I mean, and the manager come and call me and say, come, we're gonna meet daddy, and say him don't know that him have a son that him don't know. You know what I mean? So
I could
Papa,
only imagine, like, you know what I mean, like
yeah,
that's gotta that'll be a memory again, another memory that
yeah,
just
yeah.
sticks with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, man. So it was a really good vibes, man, and yeah, we're looking forward for greater things, because we're still working and we're still promoting the music same way,
Mm.
So we're looking forward to, you know, put our presence out there, and the world can see what we are doing, because like now you're here, having me on the program for this time. It's a blissful moment, and
You're
it gives.
blessing me.
Yeah, man, we give thanks for a platform like this as well to express ourselves, because people need to know that we have talents, talents out there that need to be heard. And we respect the outlets that all took the time to, tap into that outlet, and, to make the voices be heard that was supposed to be heard. Big up the
Yeah.
man called Crew Chef, you know what I mean, Virgil Islands so on.
Salute.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For real, man.
Now, the ancestors, you names figures including Marcus Garvey, Ali Selassie, Kwame, Patrice, Nelson Mandela. When
Mm-hmm.
you put historical figures into reggae music, uh, what responsibility do you feel uh, to make sure younger listeners understand more than the names?
all right. I bring awareness. I bring the awareness to the younger generation of the importance of what these elders bequeathed unto us and what they did for us. And my duty is to remind and make the call to action as well, because as I say, the scepter, lawgiver rule the scepter. You know what I mean? And I know that I have a duty to carry the work out. And when I speak, it's supposed to be of authority and no folly within the delivery of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I can connect with the next generation, because when it comes down to entertainment, if I have to do entertainment to tap into the source to get the message out, this is what I do. I give a smile, I perform, you know, I, demonstrate how important it is to connect ourselves to these legends and these leaders who have set the foundation for us. It is very important that we, know our roots, because knowing our roots, it gives us leverage going forward. You know what I mean? And I think I have the responsibility, not think, I know that I have the responsibility to carry that out so the next generation know where we are and what we should be doing at this time. You know what I mean? It's more than even saying, but in our doings. You know what I mean? As Marcus Garvey would say, we emulate stuff that can uplift our nation. And I think that I'm on the path of doing that. And we are doing it right here as we speak. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. Yeah, absolutely. Respect. And it's dope. I mean, again, I appreciate you being on the platform, family, and taking the
Yes.
time out. In 2022, you said Audio Check was a 14 track album, which was around 95% finished, right?
Yeah.
Your current material now refers to a second album coming in 2026.
Yeah.
Without using the Audio Check title, what happened to Audio Check, and what parts of it survive in what you're making today?
And so audio check, we didn't put it out. We're still working on these tracks. A matter of fact, I was in the studio earlier today
Mhm,
trying to figure out which of these tracks I'm gonna put. You know what I mean?
mhm,
On the album, because they're asking for it, and there's a couple of elements that always holding back the album, because you have to be always evolving and trying to make sure that you have the right songs. And when it comes down to music, you have to, if you don't have the financial support, to
mhm.
make sure that the things is mixed and mastered properly, it's a little setback, but we're close to get stuff out, and the album will be ready. You know, so
Yeah,
that is what is happening.
that's dope.
You know what I mean? So we just have to continue, regardless
Gotcha.
of we put a date and say, all right, it should be out at this time. But
Yeah,
we'll be out soon.
just make it work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Your current material connects Welcome to Jamaica, Irie, Creation, Inseparable, Down a Yard, Oneness, One Common Good, and The Ancestors to the second album period.
hmm
What connects those records and turns them from a collection of singles into one body of work? Since you just like mentioned,
yeah,
you got to make it together and do it right.
yeah.
What's kind of like the vision that's putting it together into one body of work?
All right. So as I said, most of these songs are released as singles,
Hmm.
right? So when we drop those singles, we see where in the world they are, and how they're performing, and what would resonate well within a area. Like a song like "Welcome to Jamaica," it went viral on the YouTube charts and the YouTube. So it becomes, I realize, okay, they like this. There's another song called "Creation," which is a Brazil song. Right now, it's one of my
I was going to
top.
ask you about that next. So yes.
So, "Creation" is hot. Is a hot song from LawGiver in Brazil.
And Down a Yard too.
And "Down a Yard," yes, is "Down a Yard." Matter of fact, that song also connects within Poland because I think the maker of the rhythm is
Yeah.
in Poland.
Really big
It's a
in
song.
Europe right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So these songs, some of these songs is gonna come on the album. So I have some exclusive. I may might put a couple of those ones on it. So we know that okay, this song they like this song over this side. So when we drop a whole thing, we realize now we know what sound, what era working with, and what would work at what area. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
this is how I'm moving forward. In putting the album together. You know?
that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, you think about it. With these international successes, the reactions. What taught you about which parts of Jamaican music translates across language and geography and generations?
Alright, when it comes down to roots reggae, right? When it comes to roots reggae, there's no boundary for roots reggae. Dancehall, yes, dancehall do its thing. But for instance, if I'm gonna be like we're a Colorado, uh, Seattle, here, California, you know that it's reggae.
Hmm.
And when we realize, for instance, when I was just getting familiar with and these type of areas, someone would say, I'm going to a reggae party. They're not going to say, I'm going down to Bujo party tomorrow or Stephen Marley tomorrow. Yes, they
Hmm.
might say Steve Marley because it's Bob Marley. They say they are going to the reggae party. The reggae's down by the club tonight.
Yeah.
The reggae. So the name reggae stands for itself. So I make sure I say, okay, all right. Out of Jamaica, I can do the dancehall as well, which is Welcome to Jamaica is a hardcore dancehall song.
Yeah.
But I make it so that everyone, when you listen to it, you can realize that the world can resonate just like some of those songs that cross over, that you play with the Mad Cobra and stuff like that. I make it
Hmm.
a way so that people can understand. And welcome to Jamaica, Jamaica. Come have a Rasta summer down in Jamaica,
Yeah.
Jamaica. Come enjoy yourself. Anyone can understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
Barn of Love. When I say Barn of Love, it's easy to take on, somewhere in the world because it's in something that you can understand or understand. You get me? So
Hmm.
I just choose to do the reggae part of it so I can connect with the world more wider because reggae is huge out there. You know what I mean? And that is my
Hmm.
soul. That is my soul movements is to tap into the reggae source and deliver to the people. Yeah, man.
Man, that's amazing, man. Like
Mhm.
I just you have so much history and you have so much connection, and like you really are truly the essence
Mhm.
of what you represent, and the forefathers and everything and what you're doing, and listening to the music and the message in it is, I thoroughly enjoyed, connecting with you. And again, I gotta give a big thank you to Soul Rock for setting this up for
Yeah,
me and
man.
everything like that, and connecting us, because this has been, just an enjoyable experience, just being able to talk music. Because my thing is I have always, regardless of who I meet, uh, I've had sales meetings with CEOs of big companies and all of that stuff, and even in those, I sat down, and how I make friends and talk, and it's because we're talking music. I always
Yeah.
ask about music, and that's music normally. In the most people, there's unique people that don't, but most people, music lives in everybody because of just the what it does for you, right? And I'm
Mhm.
always curious to hear about people's musical experiences. And I mean, my God, like you're there's so much, like,
Many,
question
many
for you.
things.
Has the Burning Spear, do you think, or has that led to any further collaborations, or do you have
Uh,
anything else on the table
and
with them that you could talk about?
no other collaborations at the moment, but I have some collaboration for the album itself, from some emerging acts.
Hmm.
They like this huge guy is I think he's performing tomorrow on the Reggae on the River. It's Samurai. I have a collaboration with Samurai. Rory Stone Love did an album with him. So I have a collaboration with him. I have a collaboration with one of Barry Salmon's protege, Medicine, on the album. I have another collaboration with Half Pint, which I'm gonna put back on the album
Shout
as
out to
well.
Half Pint too. Yeah.
Yeah, Half Pint Lawgiver. And there's one more. There's one more. Anyway, the brain freeze. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's just couple of. But I'm looking forward to what this collaboration with Burning Spear did for me still, and it's doing because it's not really soaked in as yet, fully.
Hmm.
Opening for Burning Spear and did well on the show, give me leverage, to go market Lawgiver, give me more acceptance out there, and other producers, listening to Lawgiver. I noticed that my streams, going up since such collaboration happened, you know.
Yeah. That's got. I
Yeah,
mean, that's huge, and it was on your vision board. It was. You know what I mean. And you answered the call. So
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, man. So
yeah.
it's a whole good vibes, and we're looking forward for greater things to come. Same way because we're here working, you know.
Yeah. So I always wrap up with like a final question that I like to ask each artist, and it's kind of different per one, each one. But Lawgiver, when you look back from the boy in Roadside, listening to his father's records and learning the microphone around Tidal Wave, to becoming an artist, to becoming a label owner, and now working alongside people like Burning Spear, what part of the journey changed you the most as a man? And what do you hope people understand about O'Neill Phoenix when the music is no longer the first thing they hear?
What a one. Yeah. So the part that changes me the most, you know, being growing up in the music from a tender age to this point. Music has taught me so much things because in the
Hmm.
beginning, all of us was created through music. The first move was from the heart, and the heart is the rhythm.
Hmm.
So the music taught me humility. You know, it edify, it entertain. It's motivate, it elevate me. And music has done that for me through my whole life track. You know, I wouldn't want to live a different life without music. If I should come back again, after leaving this planet,
Hmm.
let me be music again. you know, so being a musician, it does a lot for me within the music, and I appreciate the ones who see the talent and invested in it and support it. And I'm looking forward to inspire and aspire others to, be the best version of themselves within the music and whatever they choose to go along with. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, like you said, when you come back around, if you come back around, like let it be music, because I feel that, because
Yeah.
uh, I've been through a lot with my journey, and the thing that helped me actually get to the most healthiest place mentally and physically, has been connecting back with the music and doing this and having an opportunity to speak to individuals of all different, backgrounds and, uh, you know,
Yes, sir.
forms of art. And it's at the end of the day, you know, music is love. Music is just, it is something that connects all of us, you know,
Yeah,
and
man.
I have to say, you know, thank you again for
Yeah,
blessing me with your time, because,
yeah,
and I
man.
hope you feel, uh, I hope you had a good time, and I hope that you will come back and be a part of the show again
For sure,
in the
man. For
future.
sure. And I want to say, with the same breath and same connection, I want to big up, you know, some of the artists on my label
Yes,
and who
please,
have
like
recorded.
take the
Big
time out to do whatever you got to say, whatever you want to say. Have at it, fam.
Yeah, I mean, big up Banks, Easy Boy, who, you know, are part of the connection, you know, and Crew Chef. I have a song out with Crew Chef as well, and a Common Good Rhythm. You know, you can go and check it out on Imperishable Uprising label. Seeing and support, you know, other acts like, you know, Banks was in the chat right here,
Hmm.
you know, another upcoming musicians from Jamaica, you know, and Rosebud Entertainment, we say Essence, big up, you know, the whole Burning Spear family, you know, and team, big up themselves because they, you know, play a role within the movements of Lawgiver, you know what I mean? And look out, definitely, the album will be coming. I can't give a specific date as yet. You know, I just got a couple tracks to mix off and, you know, set a good thing because the thing we want to make sure that when we launch a good launch party so people can it can have that effect, you know, when we put it out. So
Yeah.
big up all media areas and for the ones who are keeping the shows, I ask of you look out for emerging acts and dig good and you know look forward for ones who are presenting themselves in the proper way, the way that the artists that you know are staple. They are prepared to take the music to the next level. Like I, myself, and other artists go out there. You just have to just look to find the ones who have that 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 energy, that substance, who can lift your show to the next level. Because the young generation, I just have to get this in. The young generation, I think they are not really connecting the way how they should connect because they are trying to compare the reggae music with the happy music. Which not saying that reggae music is not happy, you know, but they always have to remember that reggae music is a spiritual form of music. And without spirituality we are dead. Regardless of how we want to drink the alcohol and smoke and do all of that. We have to incorporate the spiritual part of the music and reggae is the vehicle for that. And it's not gonna come with the internet clout and stuff like that. At least you can get some roots reggae act on your show, and so we can bring a flair to the younger generation, knowing that the music is gonna carry on to the next stage in the generation. So yeah, man, I look forward for that. So big respect and remember, people, check out my music at lawgivermusic.com. And,
Yes.
and all my social are attached to lawgivermusic.com. If you want to find me on the Instagram, it's Lawgiver Kingson. And TikTok is official Lawgiver Kingson. And everywhere is Lawgiver Kingson. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I've got all of the links listed in the description for this episode, but I'm also getting ready to flood the chat with every single right there. Like, so check it out, man.
Yeah, man.
You can click on all of those links. Look at all the like it just covered the screen like it's
Cover
bam,
everywhere. Bang,
like
bang, bang,
all of those links. Hold on. Yeah, we'll even hit it with the you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
man. That mean connect, picking up clear. So let
look,
me do the drop. Picking up clear from the global antenna. You're listening to Ghost Boogie or watching Ghost Boogie and the underground B-Boys Underground. Yes. Picking
man,
up clear.
thank you for that, man. We got to do that again. So look, man, I gotta give a big round of applause to you, man. Thank you so much. This was an amazing interview, and any of your artists, anybody that you're connected with, please let them know that they have an open platform if they feel like they have something to say or something
Yeah,
to promote or whatever.
yeah,
It's all love, and it's like everything. This is my purpose. This is my passion, and
yeah,
this is what I'm doing with my life from here
yeah,
on out. Right. So, and
definitely.
being able to spread some positivity to the world, and basically share a beautiful story like yourself.
Yeah,
And you're just getting started, but you've been in the game since the beginning, and you've already worked with so many iconic
yeah,
people. So
iconic.
it's your mission
Yeah,
to pass that down. Like, you are now a root yourself. Like you said,
yeah,
you are a root, and now I'm just happy, and I've got a lot of anticipation to see what branches come from your root.
as we say, Ghost Boogie. You know what? Just as you said it, I realize even more my purpose and why I've been preserved to this point, because
Yeah.
it could have happened before, but I think it would have faded so bad because I didn't have that mental, levelness, and that strength and knowing who I am really. So now at this point, I think that I know that I have something that the next generation would appreciate, in this form. So I'm happy for the preservation of me, and have this energy now, and the way how to introduce others to the genre, with more meaning and more spiritual sense. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. So we give thanks, man, for the energy. And I wanna drop a couple lines from my latest song, Born of Love. I said, Crew Chef, we're gonna connect up with Crew Chef as well, and Banks, so we can have a conversation with them,
Yes,
important
please.
artists. Saying so, I would say right now, for the people and for the world leaders and the arms dealers and policymakers, war profiteers, I wanna say, go check out my brand new song titled Born of Love. Every man who builds a bomb was cradled in a mother's arms. Every hand that built destruction was held with love at the start. He was nursed, he was prayed over, wrapped in warmth, safe from harm. Now he walked into the boardroom and he tears the world apart. From a mother's womb to a mother's tears, how did we travel so far to all these years? Born of woman, born of love, yet you build the guns. While another mother weeps for her dying sons. Remember, show love to the youths. You know what I mean? The womb is a sacred place, and it
Yes.
protects us. So we should all protect ourselves and protect others along the path through this earth. Never hurt someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yo, amazing. I love it, man. And so I got to give a big shout out, of course, to LawGiver. Thank you so much for being on the show. Um, don't forget, so in honor of hip hop's basically 53rd birthday, we did a show every single day this week.
Salute, salute.
So if you go to at B-Boys Underground on YouTube, you can check out all of the interviews past. We're up to over 300 episodes. This one is going to be on there right away. It's published, and I will be making shorts and reels from this. But you can check out all of the previous interviews. We've interviewed some underground artists to all the way to some iconic artists and A&Rs and all of that stuff. Tomorrow, we're going to finish the week off strong because we've got the one and only, one of the OGs in the game, Mr. Chill Rob G. And Mr. Chill Rob G is part of the Spit Slam family, and he just released an album, and we're going to go over that, talk about his history and everything like that. So please tune in, same B-Boy time, same B-Boy channel. It's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. to be more Pacific. And look, as I always say, keep it positive, keep it pushing, keep persevering, stay in the present, not in the past. Don't let it kick your ass. Just learn from it. And don't trip on the future, because I died twice, and the only thing that I worried about, all that other stuff that I was worrying about was going to happen and all that, that went away. I rode them lightning bolts back like Thor. They said, welcome back, Mr. Boogie. And all I could think about was what was important to me, and that was my wife and children. You know what I mean? And it helps you appreciate life. So
yes,
if you look at life, and instead of looking at everything and focusing on everything that's wrong, you can focus on everything that's right, then it's going to change your outlook and the energy that you're going to receive, because what you think upon is what actually you create, right? What a man thinketh, you attract it, right? So
yes,
with that, we are up out of here, and what we're going to do is we're going to end the show off with behind the scenes LawGiver The Kingson tracks Born of Love video. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get that shared up and ready to go. You got anything else before we roll out, LawGiver?
I want to say B-Boys Underground, picking up clear from the global antenna. Keep it locked. You pick up, respect.
Respect, y'all. Hey, y'all, check this out, man. Here we go. And much love, Rollo. And oh, before I say it, from our city to your world, we are City World. Make sure you check out and follow my people at cityworldmedia.com. It's a dope place. They got a dope magazine, everything, Street Noise. Shout out to Todd D. Plays, and shout out to Serene Solutions. So follow them. Much love. Y'all split that. Peace.
So
Who will cry for the children? Who will cry for the mothers? Every man who builds a bomb was cradling a mother's arms. Every hand that built destruction was held with love at the start. He was nursed, he was prayed over, wrapped in warm, safe from harm. Now he walks into the boardroom and he tears the world apart. From a mother's womb to a mother's tears, how did we travel so far? Every morning he puts on his shoes, signs his name on the line, shakes the hands of the war makers, says everything is fine. But the bombs fall on the children and the lullabies go silent. World leaders count their profits while innocents turn violent. From a mother's womb to a mother's tears, travel so far, all these years. Born of woman, born of love, yet you build the guns. While another mother weeps for her dying sons. World leaders, arms rulers, policy makers, war profiteers. Your mama didn't raise you for this. You was born with a conscience. Where did it go? The world is not short of bombs. The world is short of conscience. The world is short of love. The world is short of humanity. We don't need more weapons. We need more humanity. Peace is not a weakness, it is our dignity. To every hands that hold the contract, to every eyes that reads the plan. Remember you were born of woman, rise and be a better man. From a mother's womb to a mother's tear. No more weapons, no more fear. Born of love, return to love. The world needs conscience, the world needs child. Righteousness shall cover the earth like water and seas. Seek peace and pursue it with all thy heart. Rastafari, sing that.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, follow. From my city to your world. We are City World.